This is Film Don't Lie from UGAsports.com. That's Brent Rollins. I'm Dayne Young. Stetson Bennett was masterful against Oregon, the best game of his Bulldog career. Brent, overall, as I pull up the video here and we break this down, what did you see from Stetson Bennett that made him so effective?
It's something we talked about when we did our top returning player series. Like, we talked about a world that existed where we are going to see peak him this year because of the experience, because of coming, all spring and fall as the clear-cut guy, because of the confidence that comes with all those things and the age. And now, you've seen him physically. He's actually physically changed his body this year. And you could tell in game one that there was a little more something, a little more booty in the throws. And it was a phenomenal performance. You can't play any better than he did.
I am proving that I'm writing on the screen.
Yes.
By quoting you.
Okay. Somebody's going to clip that and put that and be like, what are we talking about?
We're talking about booty. Here we go.
There you go.
Stetson Bennett early on against Oregon gets a rush in his face. This is one of those things that this is not a successful play, but it's not a negative play. So in that sense, it is a successful play.
Yes. And what did he do? Think about it. What did he do in the national championship game on the second play? He tried to force the ball to Ladd on the sideline, and it got tipped and intercepted. Live to play another day, especially early in the game, which, by the way, if we can pause it right about here, 3 guys blocking 1. Never a good thing.
Yeah, that's not good. Also, who is this good sir?
That would be Mr. Noah Sewell.
He's going to be a first-round NFL selection, yes?
Potentially.
Okay, likely.
Potentially. Okay. After watching this game, it's a little iffy, but potentially, yes, he could be that.
He's currently 4 yards away from Stetson Bennett. He has forward momentum. Stetson's on the heels of his feet, and Stetson gets away from him quite easily.
Yes. It was his sudden change of direction is beyond, impressive. And we think what's amazing too, I can't even remember his actual sort of box score numbers. I think like 26 of 31, I think maybe. So he had 2 throwaways, that one and another. He had 1 batted pass where he tried to underhand it to Brock. That was probably, to me, his 1 negative play. He should have let that develop a little more. And then
Darnell dropped one.
Darnell dropped, and then 1 overshot on a deep ball.
Yeah.
So 3 of those are sort of don't go down in the PFF data as an incompletion. They count towards adjusted completion percentage. So his adjusted completion percentage, throws he actually attempted and was at a target, 92.9%.
Here's Georgia in the red zone. Stetson brings Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint in motion. And this play becomes a mess because Brock Bowers gets pulled off course, but it does not matter.
No. And one of the things that this is just patience. And this is the experience part. This is the confidence and experience part because, it's a rub, try to get Edwards. You got 80 on the backside, sort of slant. He's not really deep. Slant dig, whatever you want to call it. But Darnell he's getting fought with by the little guy and who eventually just ends up on the ground. Brock gets hit as he, gets contacted right at the line of scrimmage. So there's congestion to his right. And then he's patient. All right, I'm going to come back to my left. And the biggest key with this play for him and to me is, one, I think this was 3rd down. I can't remember. No, I can't remember exactly. But the ball placement.
Yeah.
Like when you look at go back to right at the point of release.
Here's Rosemy again.
Right
here.
There. So look at the corner's leverage. The corner's on 80 Mitchell's sort of left ear in a way. He's got the fronts a little bit. If that ball's put to 80 Mitchell's left hip, he's probably, coming across and batting it down. But he puts it on his right hip because of the corner leverage. Completion. Because look where the corner tries to bring his hand in. Like that's when you talk about pinpoint accuracy and next level QB play, that's next level QB play.
One of the things early on with Stetson is like, this guy doesn't go through progressions. This is just one of the dumb things that people say about him. Well, obviously his intent is to use Bowers, and then Edwards down here.
Yeah.
This is designed to be something down here at the bottom of the field. Yeah, you have Darnell up here.
And his eyes are there. His eyes are in the middle of the field at least.
Yeah.
Because he's probably thinking, hey, Darnell can dunk on somebody right here. But it just takes too long to develop.
To come back around to, again, we talk about this all the time. Where's the space? Well, you have A.D. Mitchell going to the space, and it's a great throw and good protection.
And also, the underrated part about the eyes is look what it does to the middle linebacker. I think that might be Flo in the middle here. Yeah, I don't think so actually, because he had like a neck brace thing.
Yeah, he's tethered here.
But the eyes kept him there long enough to where he had a throwing lane. Yeah, that's a different guy.
Umpire helped too.
33. But still, perfect ball placement.
This is Kendall Milton with a fake.
What did we all – go ahead.
Well, I love this, that like Stetson is really taking what defense is giving him, but then also Kenny Mack is proving that he can get yards after the catch. So if you see him with all this space, it should be automatic. Toss it, man.
And this is what we talked about all last year. What's peak Stetson? It's blending his gunslinger mentality with game manager play. This is like gunslinger Stetson says, all right, I'm fitting it in the little hole on the first read that he's going, or he's coming back to the backside post, which could have maybe a little bit and just, chucked it deep because AD gets a step.
Yeah, because even with his eyes, he's kind of checking out down here. That could be just throwing off. You don't know.
He could be throwing, but I think he wanted to throw in that window, but the guy came back into the window, so then pumps and starts to scramble and then just hits the check down. And you talk about McIntosh and yards after the catch, 9 catches, 9 receptions, 117 yards, 125 yards after the catch. So a lot of behind the line of scrimmage catches that he then did all the work with.
This was a
this is just
boot. Although Stetson admitted he made some poor decisions on this play. It just worked.
Yes, 100%. Putting the ball in like one hand, left hand switch, and then back to the right hand. Like there's no part of that should work. But this is the stuff you can't teach. Like you can teach mechanics and step through, keeping your feet and getting your hips square, readjusting your eyes. You can teach all that. You can drill it to the nth degree. But when stuff breaks down, there are just instincts that some kids, some players have that others don't.
Go to our UGA Sports YouTube channel and listen to Stetson Bennett talk about this play after the game, because what he said was, as all this is going on, he said, I know McConkey's going over there somewhere, so I just have to track down where he is, because instinctively and his preparation, but he knows that somewhere in this general vicinity of this back left corner of the end zone, there's going to be Ladd McConkey. It's in his head. He's saying, if I see all of these green jerseys with me, and especially as I go back to the middle of the field, if I spot him, he's likely going to be open.
I still think he was throwing it to Darnell. Right there, I think right there he maybe sees Ladd, but I still think Darnell was the one that was sort of in the line of sight, and that's where he was going. But he'll say that he was throwing to Ladd all day long, no matter who
he ought to. I mean,
and he 100% should.
That's a 6-year senior move to take credit for that.
Yes, 100%. But again, those are just things you can't teach. You can't teach, and he's shown time and time again now that he has those instincts.
Trips formation here. Interesting personnel choice with McConkey and Darnell Washington and Oscar Delp.
Yep. Who was the third tight end to actually get some reps in the game. But it's what you want to see when you have a matchup that you like. And that because you've got 4/3, because of the 4/3 at the bottom, because you've got look at the safety on the inside the numbers, like he's playing at least a half field type read, and you've got some form of man with a carry at the top of the screen.
All you have to do is double check where this guy is. And if he's not fading back here, then you toss it.
Yep. And he puts it right into this is the Jake Fromm specialty. Back shoulder, A.D. Mitchell. Like, that's just beautiful football.
It's an A.D. Mitchell specialty, too.
Yeah. And he's, like you said, last year, what's he do last year with those? He often gets tries to draw pass interference. Now he's going and getting the football. 4 catches on 5 targets, 65 yards, and a touchdown. It was just, when you think about Stetson's performance, though, it's as good as it gets.
I keep coming back to it, thinking he was in command. I never saw him look frazzled. I never saw that he was trying to make something happen that wasn't there. Like, he knew where everybody was supposed to be. He has a great arm. He accurate touch. He scrambled. We're gonna, like, if people are watching, go through on this playlist and watch our Film Don't Lie on the offensive line, because first drive, both guards, Stetson completely bailed them out with his mobility.
And like you said, command. He was a professional quarterback yesterday, and if he's that all year, my preseason Heisman finalist prediction is going to come true. It just will. I mean, they got the Walter Camp Player of the Week award already. Like, yeah. Keep giving this guy awards, people are going to think he's actually good.
I think he's good, and we're going to see a lot more of him here. Thanks for watching Film Don't Lie about Stetson Bennett. For Brent Rollins, I'm Dayne Young. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out this week is 5 Film Don't Lie